Hi, this is Alan Shelton from the Spiritual MBA. Today we're going to talk about the three levels of story. That's our pointer. A pointer is a long-held tradition of pointing to being and consciousness itself, rather than believing that we are the story that we have constructed in our mind. And that belief comes from a lifetime of conditioning and belief systems that have been given to us, and we act in assumption as though that was what was really going on. So these are pointers away from that. And today we're going to talk about the three levels of story. The first level is the object level. That's simply when you tell a story, and in telling the story, you deliver that story to someone else as an object. And that is the weakest, if you will, or the lightest version of telling a story. And it is one that we commonly migrate to as we get older and we move into adulthood. Now there's the persuader level, and you see that a lot in decision making. Whenever someone is utilizing a story and they see that there might be an old story and they need to move to a new story, what they try to do is they try to get enough folks behind the new story in order for that story to become the persuading new story and take the place of the old story. And that's the persuader level of story. The third level is the invitation level, and that's the one that we normally develop when we're young and we're a child, because what we do is we actually tell a story, we construct it as though it were tangible and real, and we invite others to live inside that story ourselves. And that is what the invitation level is. So what's my point? Well, each level moves us closer to prior unity. All prior unity is the consciousness or the presence and being that you were before you could actually label yourself and identify yourself, before intellect grabbed a hold of what it thought you were. And that your true self is an invitation. So how do you use this particular pointer? Well, the way I use a particular pointer is I try to make every story I tell an invitation, because my true self is an invitation, and whenever a story is an invitation, I know the likelihood of the presence and the being and the consciousness that I am being broadcast to all of those around me is going to be particularly heightened. So whenever you feel like you're telling a story or you're communicating and you know that the power isn't there, it doesn't have the legs that you'd like it to have, one of the things you can do is ask yourself, how am I delivering this story? If you're delivering it as an object, as a present, or if you're delivering it in order to persuade, likely you can up your game by stepping up into the story as an invitation. And in that feeling, you can go, oh, this is who I really am. Again, in my other examples, I always tell you, go inside, ask yourself, who am I? And underneath that who am I is the presence and being that you are, that wants to move move through you as though you were a conduit. The real story, if you will, the invitational story, is the one that will move through you as a conduit. So track yourself when you're telling stories and communicating, and this too can be one of the pointers that will allow you to step into your spiritual journey. Okay, this is Alan Shelton, Spiritual MBA. Thanks for being in this particular pointer. Story is always an area that's most fun to me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.